the absolute finest entertainment on the internet. Join us in fighting back against evil.
It's hotter than a blacktop in July, sweating like a sinner in a church, and I just wanna get out with my crew tonight and shoot at the lights. Got a couple 40s full of hops and fun, looking for a good time, gotta live it up. Leave behind the city, hop inside my truck. No, we don't give up. We're gonna paint the night red. Who can holler till we're dead? We're down to turn up. We're up to get down.
Thursday night, I don't know. It failed to play the song, I think. I don't know why. It didn't like it, but it is what it is. We're out here Thursday night. I'm streaming on several platforms. I also am in a vertical stream on YouTube, on 2 different YouTube channels, which is a new feature. So if you're hopping in and you haven't seen that before, check it out. We're getting vertical. Read some comments. He goes, what up? Maureen Spicer. Nico, what up? She said first. Says, let's go, Hank. If you're just getting in here, make sure that you share up the streams. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today, including several of the videos that I have and have been working on, and some very funny stuff that's been happening in our town. Our town is out of control. And if you're not used to or know what we're talking about by our town, I'm talking Brattleboro, Vermont. Brattleboro, Vermont, one of the craziest communities in the Northeast. It's got it's a little bit like a fairy tale to it, a bit, or an old legend, or like a spooky story. The legend of Brattleboro, Vermont. What happened in this small town community gone bad? I think someone could make a lot of money with a movie like that. I'm going to do the most important part right now, and that's going to be share it to my story. I'm sharing it on Facebook right now. Wow, share it to my story, and now I'm going to share it into several groups, and I'm going to give them a little, shout out every time I share it. And what I'm going to do is go the Brattleboro News recap show, and we're going to talk a lot about Brattleboro stuff. Vermont Uncensored, Chester, Vermont Unleashed. I don't really share to the Brattleboro chat or any of the chat rooms. It's full of crazy liberal activists who are just trash people. Not into it. So we ignore them. Members only, Scanner 2.0. We'll go with Keen. We'll go with MAGA Vermont, to VT Alliance. We'll throw some Donald Trump MAGA groups on here. We'll do the Lord's work by sharing this up so everybody can enjoy the wonderful and amazing. And let me just go ahead and do this, because one of the most important parts about this is that basically X.com is quickly turning into the place to watch the Brattleboro News recap show. It's always packed in there. It's always packed in X.com when it comes to live streams and stuff like that. So, it does very well over there. So if you're just tuning in over there, believe me, it's appreciated. So during this show, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, including a rock attack in Brattleboro. We'll do the weather. We'll talk about some sponsors. Oh, we'll talk about the Elmo fentanyl bag, the Project Care program ending, and a whole bunch about Select Board. and a bunch of other stuff about Select Board. We'll bring it back to a bunch of Brattleboro news stuff. It's important to get back into this community and talk about what's going on with the local news that I do and the coverage and the videos coming up. Now, I've been posting all different types of content, which I think a lot of people have appreciated. You can write in the comments if you do appreciate them. Todd, he says, what's up, y'all? What up, Todd? How are you? Chrissy says, I have been restricted from the Bratty Chatty for 28 days, and I'm feeling humbled and extremely proud of myself for that accomplishment. Yeah, really. Honestly, it's pretty annoying going in those groups. They're full of window lickers, low-end, low education threshold liberals who can't function in society. So they make these dull anonymous accounts and go online and act edgy. And then when you see them in person, they scurry away. They scurry like rodents away from the truth. They hate me because, first of all, they ain't me. And second of all, liberals hate when you tell them the truth. They can't stand it. It blows their whole narrative away. Everybody knows that. Heather says, the chat is definitely wild. She said, don't forget to mention the paste they love. Yeah, Elmer's. They love to eat Elmer's glue. These are definitely those kids. And I've always wondered, it's always been a thing to me, like, why do we allow these people to go around and criticize everybody else and try to cancel things and destroy people's work and businesses? It's like they can't function. They're not contributing anything of value to our towns, communities, country. And they have this obsession with thinking that they understand policy or that we need their help running governments. No, they failed. It's doing really, really bad. It's not going well at all. And we have some extremely funny stuff to play tonight. I'm gonna bring back what I used to do a little bit, and I'm gonna rant quite a bit on this show. And so please share it up. Add some of these things for other people. Like if you have somebody that you think would enjoy this, add them. Tag them. If you have a business and you'd like to sponsor any of the news that we cover, go ahead and do that. That would be dope. What we usually do on the Brattleboro News Recap Show is I will end up playing a news video or two from the week that was, influential and awesome and everybody liked it. And it's very important. And what I do is I allow us all to watch them together. And then I will tell you some of the background information. I will tell you some of the stuff. The thing is, it's funny about how I say that is the problem with this area is the news here is either is so bad. I mean, they've got the Reformer, which just glazes over. And they try to do this. They act like they're, very moderate right down the middle. No, they're very leftist biased. Everybody around here is. It's ridiculous. And so this type of news coverage was never covered in this area. Nobody had ever seen anything like these arrests or the drug stuff or anything that I kind of have been doing. Nobody has really ever seen that. And so it got a lot of shock value to it, and people hopped in and started getting, enjoy having access to stuff that they never had before, and they couldn't see these stories. And now, as I do this recap show, it allows you to get some information even beyond what I'm showing you, which you never saw before. Now I'm giving you even more, so let's add this story to the stage. It's very important news stuff. It's newsworthy. And this one's got some funny parts about it.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, bringing you the latest from our community. Brattleboro Police Dispatch received a report of an attack with rocks at Pliny Park in downtown Brattleboro, Vermont. Periodically, the Christian community from one of our local churches gathers at Pliny Park to spread their message. They display a large Mother Teresa painting and they sing church songs. This gathering was a little different. When the group of around 25 Christian worshipers assembled, they were attacked. A grown man around 35 years old, dressed in a pink sweatshirt and a blue hat, reportedly threw several rocks and yelled hateful comments towards the church group. I was able to obtain a copy of the 911 call to dispatch.
Brattleboro Dispatch, this is Kate.
Hello.
Hello.
I would like to report a minor assault incident on High Street. There's a group here that's peacefully protesting, and then someone came up and then started throwing rocks and then hit an elderly gentleman and then hit one of our students.
Okay. Does anybody need any medical attention?
No, not at all.
Okay. Whereabouts on High Street?
It was right on the corner, on the intersection of High and then Main Street.
High and Main Street. Okay. And did it come from a vehicle or? Just
No, it came from someone who was standing by, who's walking around.
Okay.
And he's left by now. He's just walking down Main Street right now.
Okay. Do you have any sort of description of him?
He's wearing a pink sweater and a hat. He has a beard, jeans, pair of shoes.
All right. White male, black male?
White male, beard, pink sweater, hat.
Okay. What about an approximate age?
I'd say about 35.
Okay. And can I get your name? Okay. And is this a good callback number for you, the
Absolutely.
703 number? Okay. Okay. I will have somebody swing out that way. Do the people who got hit want to speak with an officer?
I don't think so. I think they're fine. We just wanted someone to be aware of it.
Okay. All right. I will pass this on, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Brattleboro earlier this month hosted the nationally funded No Kings protest with over 3,000 people assembling to protest Kings. The No Kings protest had 0 reported issues, but 25 Christians singing songs draws a rock attack. Might want to turn the temperature down a hair, Brattleboro. Attacking those who you don't agree with is un-American and should not be accepted in Brattleboro, Vermont. Critics of the church group say the Planned Parenthood office is across the street from the park and that Christians shouldn't be able to be there, even though that violates their basic freedoms. The same freedoms used for protests like No Kings. I was able to get a comment from one of the victims of this hateful attack.
So we were talking and praying the rosary together as a group, and all of a sudden a young man who had kind of been walking across our area frequently came up behind us and started throwing stones at us. One hit my leg, so he was throwing them pretty seriously. And then finally one of the young members in our group from Thomas Aquinas College went up to him and got him to stop. But it was going on for probably 2 minutes or so.
How big were the rocks?
I mean, they were a decent size. I mean, they were enough. If they hit you in the head, it would have caused a bruise or hurt you, certainly.
For the latest, follow me on social media and visit our website. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. So, I mean, you see it. This is crazy. And then someone jumped on after and put a comment in the section. They were like, we think that Shane Young, who's one of our homeless people or whatever in the town, and, he's harmless. And it's like, is he? Is it harmless? Is it just like, he's got a mental health emergency? Oh, okay. So he can go and throw rocks at Catholic people. And they were like, well, it's not political. And it's like, well, I mean, they didn't throw rocks at the No Kings people. I don't know. And so if you're trying to dodge any of the blame that you could throw up for liberals in that situation, I would say it's like, yeah, but we blame the liberal nonprofits, mental health factions and cartels and all of this for why these homeless, mental drug addict types are being drawn into our communities. I mean, it's pretty basic. Everybody knows that that's what's happening, but somehow, anything to take the blame away from themselves when it comes to stuff like this. And yeah, those old ladies, there's 10 of them, they should not be having rocks thrown at them because liberals are mad about Planned Parenthood or whatever. We're mad about you guys doing this freaking No Kings thing. It doesn't even make any sense. You got manipulated by leftist organizations that dumped millions and millions of dollars across this country to put on this spectacle, and everybody bought it hook, line, and sinker and went out there being courts jesters and puppets for people dumping dollars from out of the country or from various organizations, and nobody even knows where it came from or why. All the people out there are completely in the dark of anything to do with No Kings. It was ridiculous. Says sounds like a rocky start to their protest. Oh, I see what you did there. I definitely see what you did there, and I like it. Barbara Grant says, it doesn't matter why he threw the rock. It was wrong. People with that serious mental health issues should not be out on the street. And I guess that's exactly what I'm getting to, is that what is the Brattleboro retreat doing? Why are we having mental illness rock attacks in downtown Brattleboro? And why is that so widely accepted by those on the left? Like somehow he should be excused for this. No, you don't get to throw rocks at Christians because you're sad about whatever, or what the reasoning was he asked for money and they denied him. So then he gets mad and throws rocks at them. And this happens all the time downtown. Oh, then it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's never okay to throw rocks at Christians. No, it's never okay to throw rocks at anybody. Like, what? We've had a lot of boiling up political division in Brattleboro. We've had a lot of it. There's a lot going on. So they were all shook up from that, and they were carrying, I went out there and stood out there for a while and tried to listen to like what cars and stuff, like if people were flipping them off or what people in Brattleboro were doing when they drove by, and they do it out at Pliny Park, and Pliny Park usually has a bunch of homeless people trying to sleep on the benches there and stuff. And I don't know. Allison Pad writes, I'll say this, once management's changed hands a few years ago at the retreat, it went downhill and people stopped getting the actual help. They've gone through a lot of staff. It's changed hands as well. Yeah, see, like, I don't fully understand what's going on with the Brattleboro retreat. Like, why isn't everybody in the Brattleboro retreat? This huge thing. Who's over there? Do they have people in there? Like, what's going on with the Brattleboro retreat? Because I know they get $100 million a year budget, and the top brass over there is making like $450,000 a year salaries, and there's a whole bunch of them. And there's a ton of money. 50-something million dollars of that budget goes to salaries throughout Brattleboro. So there's a ton of money from the retreat coming into our community, which I don't even think that we could, have a Brattleboro without that kind of money. Like, if we lost the retreat's money, would the town buckle, or what would this place look like if we lost $50 million worth of, paychecks? That would suck. We've took a lot of hits lately in these liberal programs that are like breaking down. And so we've had a lot of them. We've had several. Let me pull up some data here. The Planet Hank live show. We're streaming across several platforms, the finest form of entertainment you've ever seen. Megan says, maybe someone should start digging into that. I've noticed that there's a lot of people they've turned away. Yeah, so I've done a lot of work trying to dig into the retreat. And I'll tell you like this, that top brass over there sure knows how to protect their data and their information and access to it. And it's a whole issue. It's a major issue. And maybe we'll start looking into that more and get some of that information out there to everybody. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do one of the most important parts, which I am going to explain to you some of the best businesses in this area. King's Electric sponsoring the Planet Hank live show, all of the media that I do, the Brattleboro News. This company is full of patriots and amazing people. They deserve to be cherished in our community as a company that refuses to give up and will always fight back against the corruption and the crime and drugs taking over our streets, and I appreciate their support. Shout out to Kresge's Alignment off Canal Street. My boy Mike Borio's a strong supporter of Planet Hank and everything that I come up with, and I appreciate him, his entire crew for that. I'm always stopping by over there. I let them work on my cars, and I think you should let them work on yours. Rod's Towing and Repair. Loved seeing this crew at my committee meeting, getting involved with Putney, Vermont. Rod's is the only gas station inside the city limits or town limits of Putney, Vermont. A church family-run business of amazing people. An MOB Pilot Car LLC, keeping our roads safe when tractor-trailer trucks are dragging huge stuff down the highway. MOB are the pilot cars with the little flags driving around in front of them, and they haul huge stuff. And as always, we know what it is. It's the Brattleboro News recap show. And now we're going to get into some of the funny stuff because, oh boy, I've got some funny stuff. And I'm going to rant about this one because I think that this is going, you guys are going to love this. So we've been having some pretty fired up select board meetings. Select board has been going wild here in Brattleboro. Okay, let's talk about it. And first, let me say this. We had select board meetings and special select board meetings. So far, 3 times. I think there's a 4th one tonight happening for all different reasons. There's a lot of budget talk going on. And in that came all the hippies and libtards getting mad and trying to shut the police budget and fire budget and find their cuts in those parts of the budget, which doesn't make any sense. So November 12th, there is a budget listening session. 3 questions posted to the public. What is a reasonable range for tax rate increases? Should the town reduce services through workforce attrition? And which service cuts would you accept? And what changes do you want in the FY27 budget? And that meeting was a blowout on the 12th, okay? One attendee strongly objected to the word attrition, calling it not accessible language. And this is one of our longtime stars on the Brattleboro News recap show and everything. As we're flying over 120 live viewers and growing, please suggest this. It's Thursday night, 8 p.m. The Brattleboro News recap show, the greatest podcast in the history of the state of Vermont. And I'm going to play a video for you, and I know you're going to love it. So, and man, this select board meeting and the town government here in Brattleboro, Vermont, is experiencing a breakdown, much like we see in the streets. Not only are people suffering in the streets, they are suffering at the select board. And this video right here, I'm just pulling it up. Sorry for the delay. Here it is. I'll add it.
Belittled and
Or you refuse to call us out as a place where people can
It's
bring
okay.
food on. It's not because this was the time that I signed up for, and everything Lisa is talking about is absolutely correct. And the legal reality of it is that I have since October 2nd been sending these messages out to the town. Via the actual law, you cannot legally trespass people from all town property if you do not designate an area where they can sleep. You can say, Liz, no. I'm sorry, Liz, no. My time is not up because it has been months. It is legally, this is not an opinion. Legally, you cannot trespass people from town property if you do not designate a place for them to go. And you cannot legally throw their belongings away. I have emails, calls to Chuck here. We have been trying to get people's property back for months.
Excuse me.
I will not excuse you, Liz. I'm just sorry.
Caitlin,
we don't understand the language here. So what we are saying is that in the budget,
and I'm going to ask you to
that
sit
is
down,
fine.
please.
I'm just saying what we want to talk about.
I want
is that
you to please sit down.
I will sit
Your
down.
comment is being addressed at our next select board meeting.
I know that, but I want people to
Well,
hear it.
then you'll just have to wait till
And
Tuesday.
y'all all keep saying that, but that's illegal. You can choose to wait.
Please sit down.
You can wait to find a solution.
Please
but you
follow the
cannot
rules of
wait.
order.
Okay, but you cannot wait. If the police do not, wait, you sit down. No, this is just me. This is not 69A.
The meeting.
This is just me as a person. You can call the rules of order, but if the cops in this town won't follow the law, then
Excuse
why
me,
should
Caitlin.
I follow the law in this meeting? Cops have to stop trespassing people from public property. I will
Right,
happily
the
get
meeting
out
is
as
recessed
soon as
for
I
10
make it
minutes.
clear that legally the police in this town, are you all coming out to carry me out or what's happening? Anyway, as soon as I get on the record that the police in this town cannot legally trespass people from sleeping on public property until you designate an area where they can, just tell them to stop doing that. That's all you have to do, is tell the
Please
cops
sit
to
down.
stop. I'm gonna leave. And everyone else, but tell the cops to stop trespassing people. Then let people sleep outside. I'm leaving. Don't get me wrong. I just want to get that very fucking loud and clear. It's not just an opinion. It's illegal. The cops cannot be trespassing people in this fucking town.
You know what?
And this is me as an individual. Don't get me wrong.
We want to
Don't
hear
associate
everybody
me with
talk.
it.
We want to hear everyone talk.
You made your point. We heard you. It's an important.
Did I? Because I've been trying to do it for years and people are still getting fucking killed in this town. So, have I made my point?
Thank you very much. We did hear you. It's time to move on to the next
Any
one.
fucking time. See you next
There's
time.
kids here. Mind your manners.
Time to move
There's
on.
children right in front of
You
you.
would prefer kids to see people dying outside?
Yes, I prefer to have a civil meeting in a public building.
Okay, who's next?
All right.
You left your jacket.
Yeah, I know. It's absurd.
Please do not associate me with her. She is great. I'm a fucking asshole.
Who's next?
All right. We're at question 3. The meeting has been called to order.
This goes, okay, we're at section 3. We're at question 3. Yo, we're going to need to add a budget item for Liz to get a new gavel. She's worn that gavel out this year already. She has smashed that gavel more than any select board in the history of select boards. It's been nothing but fighting all year. And I think, and I'm going to wager, it's because we added 3 very weak, soft men onto the select board that have been terrible. Isaac Evan Franz and Oscar Heller are absolutely embarrassing. First of all, did you see those two weak, soft-hand men slink over to try to, like, an Oscar, like, sits on the chair next to her like he's going to, like, console her. And you can only imagine, like, what he would say. And let's be honest, both of them have aligned themselves with 69 Alpha, this weird drop-in center full of drug addicts and terrible police response issues and overdoses and everything else. Like, we know that that's what this is. The problem is we've documented it. I have documented it over and over and over again. Like, just look at this picture. Look at those girls' feet. This is at their open house. This woman overdosed and got carried out in a stretcher. And the joke was, well, the stretcher was soft, but the drugs were hard. And that's their open house. And we got two select board nerds going down there and virtue signaling and so Caitlin, Oscar Heller, and Isaac, they're in cahoots, man. So they can slink over to her and they can try to act. This is their time to go down there and try to explain why they've wasted so much money of ours responding to their BS experiment, which should not be happening on Elliott Street. It's cost us a fortune. It's resulted in death. She said, well, tell your officers not to trespass people unless they have designated somewhere for them to. What? That is not the law. And no, Caitlin, we're not taking legal advice from you. In fact, we don't want you helping us run the town. We don't. You're not qualified. You also can't control yourself professionally. You're on bail for this. Now, let's play this very funny video. Now, if you don't remember, this woman has been featured several times in the Brattleboro News. She's on bail right now for attacking me and then melted down in this hearing, which was there for them to explain their behavior. She refused to yield the floor when time expired and became combative when asked to consider children in the room. The rest of the meeting remained calm and productive after the person's departure. She is the problem. Now watch this.
So I pull up to this traffic stop where officers were trying to do field sobriety tests and screen someone to see if they were drunk driving or whatever. And this local activist girl, the same girl who screamed at me in the Preston lot last summer.
You are a cop collaborator, class traitor, fucking nonsense person.
She comes walking up to the traffic stop and starts filming with her phone and starts giving me crap and starts saying all this stuff to the officers, doing the usual activist bit of being like, you know, oh, why are you stopping him? What's your badge number?
And just know I have no problem.
I assume by...
She's my buddy.
I assume by ma'am you are talking to Hank.
I have no problem with you. I'm just...
Well, my pronouns are they and not ma'am. But so I'm sorry. What were you saying? What are?
I have no problem with you filming here.
Okay.
What was
them saying?
And so the officer and the girl, they like get in a little bit of an exchange, etc. And then the officers basically were like, okay, we're out of here.
You are a dumb fucking cunt piece of shit. You represent everything that is abjectly wrong with this local area.
Because
I grew up in Walpole, New Hampshire and worked for we moved up here because my father founded Landmark College.
So after the officers leave, this girl just keeps going. She keeps coming after me, saying all this stuff and filming me with her phone and just acting crazy.
I'm just trying to rethink. All the usual insults that people use for you are actually offensive to the insult. Like, garbage is actually not bad. Garbage is just a byproduct of people.
Isn't that where you got your clothes?
And
out of the garbage? Or that's right, your parents
like
are super rich and you're a customer base. That's why you act like that.
And so I tell her, I said, hey, aren't you like a trust fund baby? Aren't your parents like super loaded? And I said, what exactly do you think that you're, saving the world from?
We moved up here so that my father could found Landmark College, which is the one school in the country for neurodivergent people. When they moved up here,
and what'd you do?
They took over Wyndham College campus that had just shut down in the 1970s.
She absolutely loses her mind on me, like freaking out.
And my mother was a working secretary for a man who then became rich. And then I moved out. I have never gotten a single fucking dime from my parents. And
she's freaking out, and she reaches up and grabs my camera, like the light on my camera, and rips the diffusion filter off the front of my light, like in a rage.
In terms of a paycheck, I have never gotten a single fucking, literally, fuck.
Better back up.
Oh, I better back up?
And everything, to the point that I have to like push her back, and finally as she's coming forward, I dump her ass over down the hill, and it's absolutely hilarious. You see her go flying and her feet go up in the air, and she gets up and is just so mad.
I don't care if I'm being fucking recorded or not. I will fucking fight. No, I will absolutely not fucking chill out. What are you fucking doing? You piece of absolute fucking garbage.
Get out of here.
Cackle at me on your fucking live all you want. I literally don't care.
You're freaking out. Chill out.
I am absolutely freaking out because you are
serious.
It is that serious.
It's teasing each other.
Actually,
calm down.
Is that serious? No, I will not.
Chill out.
Absolute liberal meltdown. Freaking hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this one goes down in infamy. Absolute meltdown. And Jesus Christ, I try to tell them all the time, this is not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. You know what I mean? Like, I told her,
you fucking misread me. You fucking just choked me and threw me on the ground, you dumb fucking bitch.
Look at what you're doing.
Look at what you are fucking doing.
You look like one of the Charles Manson women. You're acting crazy. And I can't stand her. She's got these like brown teeth, and she's always like all angry and mad, and carries herself around town all mad and offended. And now I'm pretty sure you're gonna get arrested for disorderly conduct. I haven't even seen that video in a little while, and that was a good time. That was me genuinely laughing behind the curtain there. I had a lot of fun with that one. And that's the same girl. She's down at Select Board trying to tell everybody how to run the damn town. You're not qualified to run the town. Are you kidding me? You're not allowed in any of the buildings. You need to be no trespass. You are a crazed, mentally ill, violent leftist. Like, she's the next. She's like, man. And we know it's going to happen more. There is no way that behavior doesn't continue and continue and continue. She's going to continue this until people actually hold her accountable. And imagine that in Brattleboro, Vermont, that a liberal white trust fund baby activist would be held accountable. Imagine that. I can't wait to see that one. She reminds me so much of the Nightwalker ignoramus, Mr. Klaus, self-declared ruler of the earth. Yeah, she's wild. Garbage isn't bad. She must have been complimenting you. Yeah, she almost had some funny moments in there. She could have turned it around, but then, it's never funny. So moving on, just the other day, November 18th, regular Select Board meeting. And like I said, we've been having, Select Board's been having a problem. So we're getting into some votes. I have a project that we're working on. Okay. And because I think that the entire community can agree that Isaac Evans France was a huge mistake. Now, unfortunately, Oscar Heller was a massive mistake as well. A very disgusting and discouraging mistake of him getting elected for 3 years on the select board. We can't get rid of the guy. The guy who shows up, doesn't know what the meeting's about, wearing a dirty sweatshirt out in public. Why are you dressed like that? Your boss, John Potter, is dressed in a suit with a tie on. Why are you wearing a dirty sweatshirt? You look like you're covered in cat hair. You have been alone your entire life. Who is this guy? But the problem is we can't get rid of him. He's there for 3 years. But we can get rid of Isaac Evans France. Now, he's thrown several tantrums, storming out, causing fights, causing issues, voting incorrectly across the board. So our project is we are going to assemble and start discussing specifically how these people have voted and show you that they don't have your best interests at mind at all. So, regular select board meeting, key budget items, solid waste composting. Thurber proposed delaying the full composting program for 1 year. Self-hauling or backyard composting in the interim, it would save $300,000. And I tend to agree with her. Composting. Then you got all these Brattleboro hiptards all worried about having their compost picked up because they're saving the planet with their freaking coffee grinds and eggshells. The motion was defeated 4-1. So everybody but Amanda Thurber voted to continue to spend $300K on composting. Okay. Isaac's counter motion, add 10 cents to yellow trash bags and 15 to purple bags to create a low income assistance fund, passed 4-1. Oscar voted no, citing the burden on working residents who earn just above assistance thresholds are already struggling. Criticize what's another 20 cents attitude. Okay, I tend to agree with that. Fish is the one who concerned what's another 20 cents. The 4th of July fireworks. Thurber argued fireworks are a want, not a need, showing fiscal responsibility, especially in the current fiscal climate. Majority felt the town expects fireworks and approved the contract despite the budget. And I think it went from $10,000 budget to $20,000 just like that. And then we got to the police department budget. PD forced to defend staffing and operations against allegations originally made to Isaac, which he repeated publicly. Isaac took offense when the word allegation was used to describe the claims. Despite multiple interruptions, police leadership answered all questions raised, and we have a ton coming out on this topic. Chief is pissed. Whole town's pissed. They're so rude. Isaac and Oscar are so rude to the Brattleboro Police Department and the Brattleboro Fire Department. They have no idea the sacrifice and work, not to mention the life-saving efforts that come up. Out of their minds. I'm just trying to pull up part of the select board, and we'll see. I was able to get over there and defend them. Hold on. There we go. I was able to get over there and defend them the other day. Now I just got to find the video and we will be able to watch this together. It's like they don't put them in order. They just had it on Tuesday. Let me read some comments. Isaac and Oscar, those are a couple of betas. Oh, yeah, no, awful. Says, why does the select board function like a nonprofit when Brattleboro already has like 50 of them? I get people need access to trash bags, but like that could be handled by one of the many groups dedicated to philanthropy in that town. Yeah, exactly. And why are they so interested in all this BS programs? I understand having a revenue into the town is helpful, but it just turns into another tax that you end up having to pay to live in Brattleboro. It's ridiculous. We're getting sick of all of the costs getting dropped onto us all the time for all their stupid ideas that make no sense. Man, I hate how the select board meetings videos are set up. Oh, here it is. It's like I had to click on it to get to the correct part. So I had to wait all the way to the end of the meeting. And then you will get. Here we go. Here comes your boy.
Hello, I'm Hank, District 9. I'm the Windham County Republican Committee Chair, and I run Brattleboro News. And so I have a lot of contact with the fire department through the work that I do and the coverage that I do. And I would urge everybody to get on board with supporting the increases in this budget. Based off of some of the things that haven't been said is some of the stuff that we have going on in Brattleboro and what these firefighters and police officers are exposed to. I feel like we have a responsibility to not only protect them, but protect the populations of people that we have basically drawn into Brattleboro with our various programs. Whether you support them or not, what we have going on here is very serious. We have no treatment, we have no sober living, we have one homeless shelter that has whatever, but we respond to this stuff a lot. And we need to protect these guys. And when they say that they need a budget increase or, more money, we should be very serious about that. I've humbly watching them save people's lives, console them. They are pretty much the last line for a huge population of people here in town that don't get any medical treatment or support from anywhere. It lands on the fire department and the police department, and they are overworked, underfunded. And if we are going to be so outrageous with the stuff that we support going in this town, I think that we should have a very strong insurance policy in our first responders to basically clean up the mess of all of the choices that are made. Thank you.
Thank you. Young man who raised his hand.
Oh, so there we go. It is. Hold on. Oh, there we go. You see how it is. I'm running the meetings now. Man, Jeff Bush nailed it right here. He says, Hank is the mayor. Honestly, they need me. Brattleboro, with all of this outrageous crap that we're in here freaking dealing with all the time, watching these non-profits spiral out of control daily. Caitlin Bookham's thinking that they're going to run the town and save all of these homeless, all of this stuff, the millions of dollars, the crap that happens. Like, okay, so I'm looking into this story right now, just looking at Brattleboro Groundworks, like I said in this comment. Brattleboro Groundworks They're out of control. 69A, out of control. Overdoses every day. You're not going to have firemen and police? What? You're going to cut their budget? We just had one officer quit his job and leave. You pretty much go anywhere else to get paid better, treated better, without a bunch of activists, extremists going downtown and trying to tear apart their budget and then make them clean up the garbage waste product that is a result of their business models. Low barrier shelters basically draw a bunch of drug addicts into the area and then force the drug fallout and needles and trash and homeless people sleeping behind people's houses and in the woods and breaking into garages and cars, et cetera, et cetera. She said, why do we not have sober living in Brattleboro? Groundworks enable the addicts hardcore, defund them already. Exactly. That's what I said. Whatever the decisions are. You guys want to make the decision not to have major sober living, not to have major rehabs in Brattleboro, but you want nonprofits that enable tons of them. That's what they want. They want enabling programs. And here's why. You want to hear why Groundworks was so interested in programs of enabling? Why? There's rumors of buses full of people coming up from Chicopee, Massachusetts, and getting dropped off, and Groundworks is trying to tell people to come into our communities. Why? Why was the hotel voucher program such a big deal? Why did it drag on for so long? And why were programs like Groundworks so interested in this? And this is very funny because today, Libby Bennett and some other one of the ground workers are walking up the road, and I've got tinted windows. But so I just started waving to her like this. I beeped the horn, beep, beep, and then was like waving to her like this. And she comes up to the window, was like waving. She didn't know who it was. She couldn't see in the car. She's like, I don't know. And then as she walks by, she sees the big Planet Hank sticker on the back. It's like, and started laughing and walked off. Here it is. This will start to mean a lot to you. So basically, Brattleboro, so in Vermont, we had a $2.1 million emergency housing transition grants. $2.1 million. So after the housing program shut down, funding was distributed in FY25, July 1st, to June 30th to help towns replace the ended state hotel/motel voucher programs. Accounts were based on each community's prior use of hotel/motel rooms. Since Brattleboro had more hotels, more voucher BS, etc., we got $210,000 out of the $2.1 million allocated to helping towns transition off of hotel voucher stuff. So we got $210,000 into Brattleboro. And it's being used locally to expand shelter beds, adding 12 new beds, bringing a total to 46. Support overflow facilities and fund case management and housing navigation through Groundworks Collaborative. So basically, all the state money and the grants went from the voucher program and got sucked right into Groundwork Collaborative. They got another $210,000 richer, just like that, by playing the game and following through and paying attention to the hotel voucher program and getting on the boards and fighting and sneaking it under your noses and stealing your money. The Rutland area got $300,000. Smaller towns like St. Albans or others got $50,000. We got $210,000. Just goes to show you that while they're down there and Caitlin can scream and Lisa can cry and 69 Alpha could say they're the greatest thing ever and they're saving everybody's lives and et cetera, which clearly isn't true. Here's 69 Alpha taking out yet another body from their business, if you could call it that, downtown. Overdoses all over town. The whole thing's ridiculous. Makes no sense. Just goes to show you that they're so good at getting themselves money and getting themselves paid, and they take huge salaries out of these things. And so while they're screaming at you that you're racist or you're a misogynist or a bigot or whatever way they try to label you, that you're so terrible, just remember, it's like, man, you guys are pretending to care about homeless people and taking all the money and getting rich off of the whole thing. You know, so don't sit in there and scream and make allegations that the police are arresting people unjustly and was so rude to the chief of police and everything. These are not the people that we want taking care of this town. Jerry Johnson writes, how sick is it that Groundworks is building a new Morningside building when the building inspector tells me that the old building is completely up to date and needs nothing? That's from the assistant chief. Yeah, and the other part about that that's crazy is that they went up there and cried for years about how people were freezing in the cold and everything, and they've had the doors locked on that building. They just didn't want to open it. They had the axe murdering situation where their ridiculous concept that security won't help with security. They don't have any security personnel against the OSHA standards. They need to have security, an airlock system, a metal detector, clearly. And they still are trying to refuse that. Going to go back to Morningside. The Morningside place, they could have had people in there the whole time having showers, getting out of the cold. Nope. They were going through some tragedy because they got one of their staff members killed. These people are garbage. Wono writes, I'd like to know why the town voted to have no mayor. Place is filled with self-identified anarchists. They are more like a termite infestation. My use of the word infestation is what got me booted from the Fatty Bratty group. I mean, the Bratty Chatty. Oh, yeah, no, if you go in and talk back against the libtard agenda, oh, yeah, no, you're blocked. Then they're going to try to cancel you. They tried so hard to cancel me, and it made it better. I don't care what you think. You are the nerds and low qualified, unqualified, low production. You guys suck. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I think you're smart or that you know what you're talking about. I don't want to have a conversation with Caitlin Bucum. She's nuts. She's attacked me. She's on bail for attacking me. She ruined that select board meeting. She's an embarrassment to 69A and exactly the reason that place should be considered dangerous and poorly run if they have people like her inside that building at all. That is a disaster waiting to happen, and this town will end up footing the bill, paying for all of that, and whoever gets harmed by it or dies because of her choices, she should be, I mean, it's ridiculous. We don't need you trying to help us. Thanks. Jeff DeForest writes, the liberals believe that they run everything. Let the police department leave and the liberals will deal with the shit. Yet they all think that they're going to build up like their own police force. Social workers are going to be police. Like, you're not going to de-escalate this. Your programs have failed. Brattleboro's, it's failed us. The homeless population has tripled. They spent $800 million to triple the homeless population. We've been there. We've done that. Now let's talk about the weather. The Brattleboro News. Clint and Hank weather report. Thursday, 43 degrees out, not that bad. Friday, partly cloudy. Saturday, Sunday, partly cloudy. Monday, we got the sun out. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to be cold again. It's going to rain again. look at those temperatures, 46 and 53 at the end of the week. It's not that cold out. It was colder for the last 2 weeks than it's been right now. Rachel Morris says several firefighters have left the department from the negligence in this town. Oh, yeah, no. And I mean, I could get into that forever and talk about that forever. But honestly, what we're going to do now is just, do something that we do all the time, which is remind ourselves that when they get mad at you and when Caitlin and all of the radical leftists that elected Isaac Evans France and Oscar Heller to get on your select board and vote against your best interests and ruin the town of Brattleboro and embarrass us. That's so embarrassing that that's our town meeting. Like, that's our public town meeting, is Caitlin screaming and Oscar and Isaac like slinking like over to her. It's like they can't even stand up to her screaming and being completely wrong. Like, why are you an elected leader of the town when you can't even lead the meeting? You can't even say, shut up, get her out of here. What? They got Liz. Thank God for Liz. The place would be overrun if it wasn't for her and that gavel. But just remember, when they hate me so bad, we love it. Brattleboro News recap show. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you all, you better... Wait a minute, wrong song. No. Here we go. I'm feeling that one now. I'm feeling this one right here. But I'll tell you something that I got. I got me a little bone right here to pick with you guys in the comment section. I'm asking for 3 of you to put up 3 dog emojis in the comment section. Put 3 dog emojis in the comments, and we are going to give Marco this little bone. There he is, Jeff, Rachel. Okay, come on. Wait a minute, let's play this. Even I didn't like that song. Who picked that? Jeez. I need at least one more person to put up dog emojis, or I'm going to eat the bone. Megan Olmstead, you did it. And here he is, Brattleboro's finest. The beautiful Marco the Barco. The best dog. I know who you are. Oh, what a good boy you are. And I love doing this show and seeing you guys all in here. Our meeting at the Windham County Republican meeting this last Tuesday was the finest meeting in the entire county. I am the county chair, and I will be making our committee grow exponentially. It will be much more fun than any committee in the county or across the state, for that matter. We are taking things over and making positive changes. We are sick of the drugs. We are sick of the BS. We're not taking it anymore. What we're going to do is just build it all up and take it over and overwhelm them with sanity and realistic ideas and put powerful candidates into elections, and we are going to win. Our Christmas party is going to be December 17th at Bar 580, and we are throwing down. We got a Santa. I'm going to be the elf, okay? We're going to have a photo booth set up so you can get Christmas pictures, okay? We're going to have all kinds of... I'm trying to get a violin band to do Christmas carols. I'm trying to get all kinds of Christmas games and everything. We're throwing down for a Christmas party. And I'm going to announce all kinds of games we're going to play, different parts of the party and everything. It's going to be packed full of events and speakers and a band and games and food, and it's going to be awesome. December 17th, Bar 580. Jerry Johnson throws up the dog emojis. Big shout out to everybody who loves and supports me. I really appreciate having everybody watch all the videos I make. I love making videos and have you guys watching them, sharing them, enjoying them, and there's tons more on the way. I've got all those new style reels where I basically narrate what's going on and stuff that I've been pumping out, and I think a ton of people have really enjoyed having me add some more content. And I was doing a ton of politics, but whatever. I'm back to content production phase. Let's go. The Brattleboro News Recap Show.
Planet Hank Live. The absolute finest entertainment on the internet. Join us in fighting back against evil.
It's hotter than a blacktop in July, sweating like a sinner in a church, and I just wanna get out with my crew tonight and shoot at the lights. Got a couple 40s full of hops and fun, looking for a good time, gotta live it up. Leave behind the city, hop inside my truck.